गिरिवनधारी जय गिरिवनधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ जय गिरिवनधारी जय गिरिवनधारी जय यशोदानंदन जय ब्रज जनरंजन जय ब्रज जनरंजन जय यशोदानंदन हरि जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी गोपीजन वल्लभ जय गिरिवनधारी जय गिरिवनधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ जय गिरिवनधारी जय गिरिवनधारी जय यशोदानंदन जय ब्रज जनरंजन जय ब्रज जनरंजन जय यशोदानंदन जय ब्रज जनरंजन जय ब्रज जनरंजन जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय यमुना तीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari. Jam Vishnu Pad Param Sapraraja Jaja Asudara Sata Shishma Tridandiko Swami Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Sami Bhaktarinda Ki Jai Go Premanandi Hari Evo Namaskar Krishna Prasad Srimati Jamadev Swami Thank you. No. Namo Krishna Preceptore Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Vicharini Nivasesa Sunyavadi Vasacha Devshatarine. Hare Krishna. Nice to see all of you here. Are you not at home performing your puja? Adiji, please come closer. There's too much gap in the middle there. Yeah. I'll begin with asking question. Is that okay? There's a common argument out there sometimes when people hear and ask this question: why does good thing happen? Why does bad things happen to good people? Do you think like that sometimes? Why does bad things happen to good people? What about Mataji? Sometimes you think like that? Or you heard of people saying that? So why? Anyone has an answer?
Because there is a nature of complaint inside. Actually, we are doing bad to others, and we feel that bad things happening to me.
The bad things that we see is actually our perception. And if we read the nectar of the Ishopanishad, Prabhupada said the conditioned souls have 4 defects. Who knows what the 4 defects? We have imperfect senses. If I take off my glasses, I can see, but I can't see very clear. I cannot see what is happening behind the wall. We have a tendency to lie. This is very common, especially about politics. We don't know, we still give our opinion. Everyone is very quick at giving opinion about the world affairs. world politics, world situation, as if they are the expert. We tendency to lie, imperfect senses, what else? Delusion. We are in delusion. That means we think of the body as a self. And the 4th one? Who knows? We make mistakes, yes. We make mistakes all the time. Now here's the interesting thing. We personally make mistakes hundreds and hundreds of times. Who agrees with that? But we cannot tolerate someone who makes a mistake one time. Isn't it? If someone makes a mistake one time and then we get on the case, we get intolerant and we get impatient. But we can be very patient with ourselves with all the hundreds and hundreds of mistakes. But we be impatient with someone else's mistake. It should be the other way around. We should be impatient with our own mistake, so then we can correct. But be very patient with others, whom you have no control over. So whatever happened in our life, good or bad, it's just a perception. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, said there's no such thing as good or bad in this material world. If it is not related to Krishna, it is all bad. If everything is related to Krishna, then it's all good. Sometimes people in this world, they think they have choices. They say, I have freedom. Why should I take up the Krishna consciousness? You have so many rules and regulations. I have to accept a guru. I have to follow the guru and do what the guru say. Now I'm so free. I can do what I want. But that freedom is like the freedom of a prisoner in his prison cell. Yes, a prisoner in the cell also has freedom. He can stand up, he can sit down, he can lie down. He can walk up and down within the small cell, and that is his freedom. So even the freedom we have in this material is very limited compared to the freedom of the spirit soul. Because just as Krishna is inconceivable and is unlimited potency, so the condition, the living entity also has a lot of potency. The senses can be interchangeable. Just like Krishna. Krishna can accept an offering with his ears by hearing the offering. He can just glance over it. Or he can also eat it. Or just by his touch. So he can or smell, for that matter. So in our liberated state, we also have that ability. But because of conditioning, we can only hear with the ear, we can smell with the nose, and so on, limited. So our senses are very limited. So in this way, there's no good or bad. This is also our conditioned perception of life to see that things are good or bad. So as a devotee, we cultivate this understanding, this consciousness to see things in relationship to Krishna. There are 6 principles of surrender. And 2 of those principles are to accept everything that is favorable for devotional service and to reject everything that is unfavorable. So that is the definition of good or bad for devotees. Otherwise, the mind is sankalpa, vikalpa, always accepting, rejecting, accepting, rejecting. And sometimes we have to make a decision and we can't make up our mind, should I not? Should I not? Should I? Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. We go back and forth. But devotee is very clear. The pathway is very clear. Every time they face with a decision, or they face with a pathway, they ask themselves, if I follow this path, if I make this decision, is it going to be favorable for my devotional service? Or is it not favorable for devotions? So when we accept only things that are favorable for devotional service and reject things that are unfavorable to our devotional service, that's called surrender. Then we are applying 2 of the principles of surrender. Very often devotees ask, how do I surrender to Krishna? What does it mean to surrender to Krishna? And there you go. These are the 6 principles. You follow these 6 principles, then you're surrendering. You have no other protection other than the protection of Krishna. You always feel protected. You don't need any other form of protection. To only accept the mercy of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada, he gave the example of the Chataka bird. The Chataka bird is a very unique bird. It's only fly up in the sky and it won't draw water from the clouds. But it will not come, even if it's thirsty, it will not come down to the ground to take water. It want to take water from the clouds. Now we know from the clouds sometimes it's thunder, sometimes it's lightning. But still, the bird will stay there. It will not go anywhere else. So that means that devotees, sometimes they face with Krishna give you the thunder and the lightning. But devotees still hang on to the lotus feet of Krishna like a child. The child knows no one but the parents. Even sometimes the father get angry, or the mother get angry with the child. Go away, I don't want you anymore. Go away. The child will not go away, he'll hang on to the clothing or to the tie of the father and mother and cry and hold on to their life. They will not go away. They will not take shelter elsewhere. So devotee is like that. That's why in the Shishasakam, his prayer, in the 8th verse, that my dear Lord, you can deal with me any way you want. You can be nice to me, or you can embrace me harshly, but I will always remain your servant unconditionally. No condition. You can treat me any way you want. I'm still your servant. Like the Chataka. So that's called surrender. To have no other interest than the interest of the Lord. That just like today, in the Lakshmi Nrsimha temple, we are speaking about the quality of Prahlad Maharaj. After killing Hiranyakashipu, Nrsimhadev wanted to give a benediction to Prahlad. And Prahlad said, I don't need anything, because this is not a business affair. I do something for you, you have to give me something back. He said, the servant who is serving the master expecting some return, or a master accepting service from a servant by giving rewards to bribe them, that's not service, that's business. That is a transaction. And Prahlad said, I'm just completely satisfied just to be your servant and to have you as my master. So they have no other interest. Their only interest is to serve the pleasure of Krishna. Just like we know, they have two opposing gopi camp, left wing, right wing. Srimati Radharani and Chandravali. So one time, Krishna was in the company of Chandravali. And they were engaging in their pastime. And then Krishna said, actually, now I feel like having the company of Radharani. They are supposed to be rival. So I would like to have the company of Radharani. And Chandravali's response was, yes, I'll go and get her for you immediately. Because it was not about me. It's about Krishna. If this gives pleasure to Krishna, then it's fine with me. Whatever gives pleasure to Krishna, that is my greatest pleasure. Not that I feel like I'm losing something. So that is the kind of faith we have to develop in our Krishna consciousness. Then nothing can stop us. We become unstoppable. There was a story of this minister. He was one of the king's favorite. And one time, the king cut one of his finger. He lost one of his finger. You know the story? No. Some of you don't know. Okay. He lost one of his finger. And he asked all the ministers, why? He said, I'm such a pious king. I follow all the religious principles, and I do yajna, I give in charity, I rule my kingdom very fairly and very wisely. But why is it I'm losing my finger? And nobody in the court dared to give any honest answer. And so then he came to this minister, who was a devotee. He said, that's Krishna's mercy. Everything that happened, his answer will always be, is Krishna's mercy. But this time the king did not take it too kindly, because he lost his finger. And that was not the answer he was expecting. He said, this minister is a madman. Everything Krishna's mercy. I lost my finger, and he says Krishna's mercy. So guards, come, lock him up. So they lock him up, then ask, my dear minister, now what do you have to say? You're such a great devotee, and now you're locked up in the jail. Then that's Krishna's mercy. Now the king really thought that he has gone bonkers. Like this, this minister has gone crazy. When he's locked up in the jail, he says, this is Krishna's mercy. Then soon after that, the king went hunting with a few of his guards. And they were attacked by some forest tribe. And the guards were killed, and they captured the king and brought him back to their camp. And at that time, they were going to perform a yajna for Kali. So they were looking for an animal. So they considered the king to be like an animal to offer human sacrifice. So they took his clothing, they bathed him very nicely, and put him on the altar to be sacrificed. So as they were about to kill him, the priest said, wait, I have to check this offering whether it's perfect to be offered to Kali or not. So they check the body, check every limb and found, wait a minute, it's missing one finger. So it's an imperfect sacrifice. We cannot offer this to Kali. Let him go. The king was completely shaken. Came back to the palace and called the guard, quickly release my minister. So they released him. They said, I'm really, very sorry, please forgive me. Told him what happened. Said, now I understand why you say it's Krishna's mercy. If it's not Krishna's mercy that finger lost, I would have lost my whole life, my whole body would be sacrificed. So it definitely, surely was Krishna's mercy. But there's one thing I don't understand. You're such a great devotee, you have so much faith in Krishna. Why did he put you in this embarrassing situation to be put in the jail? And the minister said, don't you understand? I'm your close advisor. Wherever you go, I go with you. So when they capture you, they capture me. And then they find out that you're not suitable for offering, they will sacrifice me. So isn't it Krishna's mercy that he locked me up and I couldn't go with you? You see, Krishna is Bhaktavatsala. His devotees are very dear to him. Why would he put devotees into distress unnecessary unless there is a good reason? There's a good reason why we put through what we put through. I'll give you a very personal example. When I was a temple president in Copenhagen, one evening, some so-called senior devotees came together. They have an emergency meeting because it was an emergency. And they discussed and came to the conclusion that I was not qualified to be the temple president. And they wanted to kick me out. And one of them went so far to say, just give him 5 minutes to pack his bag and get out. I have a wife and I have a kid. And 5 minutes to pack my bag to get out. So when I looked at that, they sent me a memorandum signed by 9 devotees. And I look at this signature of the 9 devotees. 5 of them, I preached to them personally. And they became devotees. And now they said I'm not qualified. So it was very, very hard, very, very hard. But after 1 or 2 days of trying to work things out, I switched my thinking, my focus to wherever there's smoke, there's fire. So whatever they complain about me, there must be some reason behind it. After all, I'm not perfect, right? I have imperfect senses, I'm imperfect, trying to do my service the best I can. So I just started meditating on what is Krishna trying to teach me. Instead of focusing on the external of what happened and why it happened and who is at fault, I focus internally. What is Krishna trying to teach me? What does Krishna wants me to learn? And which area can I improve? And just around that time, we were very fortunate to have Sridhar Maharaj and our devotee. They were from the Minister of Finance and Management, ISKCON GBC for Finance and Management, to train the temple president leaders. So they came and they were giving different seminars on temple management and temple finances. And Sridhar Maharaj gave me an instruction that practically changed my life. He said, just like your daily sadhana is to chant your rounds and to read Srila Prabhupada's books, you should add one more item. You should read books or listen to audio on management and leadership, because that is your service. So you have to learn to become good at it. So from that time on, I was always, but I was not too interested in all the management principles. I was more interested in the leadership stuff. So I started listening to audio from different so-called experts, the gurus out there. And for 25 years, I was studying, learning, studying and picking what is relevant to Krishna consciousness, what is not relevant. A lot of the things that you see when you learn all these things, you have to know what is applicable and what is not applicable. But because I have been in temple management for so many years, I know how temple management works. So I know what I can use to improve it. So I was studying and just change my behavior, change my outlook. It's like a complete transformation. Sometimes people look and say, oh, you're so soft, you're so mild and so friendly. I was not always like that. I was quite heavy in my younger days. So sometimes Krishna put us in that situation, and I look back that in one sense I was quite happy what happened, because it forces me onto the path of transformation to revamp my whole approach to Krishna consciousness. And that brought me to what I was able to do now. Because ISKCON changes from ashram-based to congregation-based. Then I was somehow by arrangement, I didn't plan to leave the ashram, but by arrangement I was outside of the ashram when I came back to Malaysia. Then I have to learn how to live, to earn the living. And imagine after living 21 years in the ashram, and then you come out here, you have to find a way to earn a living. And I didn't have any degree. I only finished secondary school. Not very marketable. So somehow I managed to put my resume package in such a way I turned all my book distribution experience into a sales experience. I write it as if I was working with a publishing company. I was a team leader. Instead of Sankirtan leader, I was a team leader. I was the sales coordinator for the area. So immediately someone called me and said, oh, I heard you have a lot of experience with you. When can you come in for an interview? So that, and because time have changed just now, and I've all these years experience in temple, now I start to get experience living outside and get to experience how our congregation devotees go through, the grihastha go through. It's not as easy as living in ashram. Ashram is simple. You just get on in the morning, Mangradi, chant your round, do your service, take prasham, go to sleep. But living outside, you have so many things to take care of. It's like going on the tightrope, in the circus, with the hand, and then on one side you have the wife, the other side you have the kids. You have more kids than the kids on the back of you, and trying to do the balancing act. Right? It's hard, and then they are moving. While you're trying to do the balance, they also have their own thinking, and they are also moving in their own way, and you have to adjust that. Hey, wait, too much this side too. So therefore, the advice is pick them out from the pole, put them on the rope. Okay, now you walk, and I guide you how to walk. So like that. So from that experience, of course, I would not like to revisit that experience. It was very, very painful. It took me a few years to get over it. It hurt me so much that devotee could do something like that. And for many years, I could not preach to people. Because every time I preach to someone, at the back of my mind thinking that if I help him become Krishna conscious, is he going to slap me on my back some years down the road? Is he going to go against me? So I had this mental block for some years that I had to work it out and overcome. But the experience was very beneficial for me. But I don't want to go through that again. But Krishna always has something prepared for us. Srila Prabhupada said, austerity is good for devotees because austerity makes us strong. And because Krishna will test you, he said Krishna will test you. So unless you are strong in your character, strong in your determination, you will not be able to pass this test. When Krishna tests you, you will have doubts in him. But because of austerity and practice, we become strong, we develop our faith is strong. We will take that as a challenge. Some devotees, when they're faced with all this burden, a challenge, pushing against them, if they're weak in their faith, they give up. But other devotees who have enough faith in Guru and Krishna, they see this resistance, these challenges as the resistance that Krishna is giving them to push against in order to sculpt the character, in order to build the muscles of the Krishna conscious, their Krishna conscious muscles. Just like you go to the gym. If you go to the gym, you are able to lift up, let's say, 50 kilos. Right? And then you just go there and pick up a 10 kilo. And you bluff yourself, you treat yourself as I'm doing the gym. It's not going to do much. But you have to pick up the weight that tear your muscles. You have to do this resistance, push and rebuild new muscles. That's the principle of gym work. So similar Krishna conscious, sometimes we say, oh, when you surrender to Krishna, you take one step towards Krishna, Krishna is taking 10 steps towards you. What does that mean? So Krishna run towards you and make everything very easy for you? Yes, he can do that. But it also means that he put obstacles in your path to help you to develop faster, to put you in a situation where you have to surrender more, to become more Krishna conscious and come to him quicker. So Krishna make all these arrangements, a personal arrangement for all of us, so that we have some form of resistance, so that we not just take things so easy and become lazy and complacent, and then easily fall into the trap of Maya. Sometimes it keeps us on our toe. And when they're on our toe, it's good because then we always have to remember Krishna, like Queen Kunti say. You know, when they're faced with all these difficulties, the challenges, and you're always with us. But now these dangers are seemingly gone, and you are leaving us. So I pray that I let these calamities happen to me again and again, because then it's so much easier for us to think of you. So when things get very difficult, sometimes it's easier to think of Krishna and remember Krishna. When we think get easy, then we become, everything is cool, relaxed. And before you know it, bam, we get slapped by Maya. Bam. What was that? What happened? So we have to understand these principles so that when these things happen to us, and it will happen to us, we are not taken by surprise. We take it in the chin. So in this way, the process of Krishna consciousness becomes very simple. When you understand this basic principle of how it works, then the process becomes very simple. We just have to follow those principles and just move along. And things don't get complicated. It gets complicated only when we did on the mental platform. Sankalpa, accept, reject, accept, reject, accept, reject. Otherwise, it's very straightforward. Like Prabhupada said, Krishna consciousness is very simple for the simple-minded, but it can also be complicated for the complicated-minded. There are devotees who can accept things very easily. They say, do like this, they do like this. And others say, why to do like this? Why not do like that? Why do I have to scratch my nose this way? Why don't I try to scratch it this way? You always trying to find the more difficult path. And sometimes you preach to people in the West, it's also like that. You tell them just chant Hare Krishna. This cannot be yoga, it's too simple. Yoga means you have to twist your body this way with your leg up there. The more difficult it is, the better it is. But Krishna has given us a very simple formula. Chant Hare Krishna, especially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chant, dance, and feast. How difficult is it? Just sing. And all the devotees with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they'll chant in Kirtan, then they'll prasadam. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally serve them prasadam. And after prasadam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, okay, now you go back, take rest. And then come back here again for more Kirtan and more prasadam. But we are not living in this time. In between, many of us we need to work. But we have to prioritize our work. What is more important in our life? To say I don't have time is a cop-out. It's just an excuse. When you say you don't have time for something, what does it really mean?
You don't prioritize.
Huh?
You don't prioritize.
Yeah, balance. What else? Who else? When you say I don't have time for something, what does it really mean? Any of the Mataji want to say? Yes? Yes, this is not my priority. That's what we are saying. So same thing with your friend. Oh, I don't have time. Then you know, with this friend, you are not his priority. Because if you are his priority, he will make time. So if something is your priority, you make time for it. Because it's important for you. But you say, I don't have time, means it's not important enough for you to put time on it. You see what I mean? So we have to prioritize our life carefully. What are the important things that we need to do? There are many things we need to do. You have a family, you need to take care of your family. If you are a student, you need to study. You need to do your homework. That's important because you are a student. If you are a working person, you have to do sufficient work. Not that whatever devotees do, they do the best they can. But taking care of family is also important. Spending time with the children is important. Sometimes we work and work within our mind. We think I'm working for the family, but we neglect the family. And we use excuse become a workaholic, and working 10 hours, 12 hours a day. By the time we go to work in the morning before the kids wake up, we come home after the kids go to sleep, and then we cheat ourselves. I'm doing it for my kids. And that's none of your business. Why are you asking? Why do you want to know? You say, anyway, just for the record, just an example, say I earn $20 an hour. Then the son asked, can you give me $5? Can I have $5? And his father got very irritated. All you do is just asking for money, asking to buy toys, and you don't even receive me. I haven't taken a shower. I haven't taken my dinner. You are just a spoiled brat. Go to your room. He was angry with the son. So then he went to take his shower and came to take his dinner. And while taking his dinner, he was contemplating, saying, maybe I was a bit too harsh with my son. After all, he was a young boy, and maybe I was too harsh with him. So he knocked on his door, opened the door. He said, son, are you sleeping yet? He said, no, Dad, I'm still up. So he came and said, son, maybe I was a bit too harsh on you just now. Why do you need the $5? He said, yeah, just give me $5. I need it. And the father put out the $5, gave him $5. Then under the bed, he took out all the money, he had saved all the coins, the $1 account, started counting, and the father's anger was building up. He has so much money, and you're still asking me for more money? But the son just annoying, just count, and put it together, and he gave it to Dad. Dad, here's $20. Can I buy 1 hour of your time? Can you come home 1 hour earlier tomorrow? The father was devastated. What have I done? That, the son need me more than just the money I'm making. So that is a good example of sometimes we get so absorbed in something and we forget what is actually the most important thing in our life. So as a devotee, the most important thing in our life is Krishna. Serving Guru and Krishna, that's the most important. And along with that, taking care of the family, if we are the man of the home, and guiding the family in Krishna consciousness. That's the most important. But at the same time, without neglecting the duty of a grihastha, that you have to earn money to pay all the bills, to take care of the family. But in the nectar of instruction is given that one should not over-endeavor for material things. Not over-endeavor. And keep chasing the corporate ladder and thinking if I climb up the ladder, then I'll be happier. No. Whatever comes naturally, we take. If we given, we take, but we don't have to chase it. And learn to be satisfied with what we have, what Krishna provides. And if He wants us to be more, we'll get the opportunity to get more. That those are the most important priority. So we have to write down all these things that are important in our life and prioritize them. Which are the number one, which number two, number three, and put on. And allot times for it. That's time management. How much time I allot for each. There should be time balance, like you were saying. And Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, He said, one should not eat too much or eat too little. One should not sleep too much or sleep too little. They have to be balanced. We need to maintain the body. We need to maintain the extension of the body in the family. At the same time, everything is done for Krishna. Without Krishna, then all these things become useless. Zero. Papa says zero. You may have so many zeros. Without Krishna, they're all zeros. But when you put Krishna in the front, then all these zeros become very meaningful, very important. So these are some of the principles we need to learn, remember and apply in our life. That then keep applying until they become habits. And Prabhupada said habits is second nature to human being. So we apply in such a way they become second nature. We don't even think about it. We just do it. It's just like in the beginning I was saying choices, making choices. But if you practice enough, you don't even have to think when you make a choice. You just naturally incline towards a choice that is favorable for devotional service. And naturally you just reject. You don't even have to think about it. After some time of practice, continue practice. So like that, and now Krishna consciousness become very smooth if we identify these important principles. And these principles can become the building block for the house or building that you're building, the Krishna consciousness you're building. Every building is resting on foundations. Now can the foundation, then the house is set on just one leg? Or the more foundation you have, the better. So I relate to all these principles that we resonate with. I mean, we read books, we hear so many things. Like even today's class, you may resonate with something I said, and he may resonate with something else that I said. Like you feel connected with some principle, and you apply that, become one of the principle, and you work on it, and that principle becomes stronger and stronger, and drive it deeper and deeper in the ground, and that becomes a very strong foundation. So once you have many such foundations that you build your Krishna consciousness upon, then you can build a high skyscraper. Your Krishna consciousness can just grow and grow and grow. So I'll end here. Do you have any questions? I was told that in Bangalore, devotees ask a lot of questions. They are not shy to ask questions. Now let's put it to the test, whether it's true or not. Certainly two. Okay, one and two.
Hare Krishna, Guruji. My question is that in Shiv Bhagavatam it is written that Ante Narayana is breathing. So, uh, we are, like philosophy is that we have to practice chanting holy names so that we can at the end of life remember God, Narayana or Krishna.
Yes, ultimately the end is to always to remember Krishna, Narayan in the end. Krishna also in Bhagavad Gita also said that, right? At the time of death, when you remember, whatever you remember, that's where you go. You remember Krishna, you go to Krishna. So Ante Narayan Smriti, that's the goal, is to always remember Krishna, Narayan.
Yes. So, like there are two ways of preaching. One way is that Jare Deko Tare Kao Krishna Upas. Means whoever you meet, just tell about Krishna. And there is no, in this instruction, like there is no responsibility that you have to make him a devotee, cultivate it, and teach him a lot of things. Like just basic, whatever his platform is, just add one more instruction that you should do like that.
That's
And
the principle.
you move on. But in some other case, like there is a responsibility of taking care of someone and making him a devotee, proper devotee. Somewhere here, somebody has done for us, but like that interest to make him some other person proper devotee. Like if someone asks me whether I should chant like Hare Krishna mantra or not, or which mantra or what. So I said I chant Hare Krishna mantra, and you can chant any mantra, provided you chant the name of God. Like that, I give general answer. Like that.
Well, first of all, we have to correct our understanding. We cannot make anyone devotee. Who are we to make anyone devotee? All we can do is to inspire someone to take up the process of Krishna consciousness with the understanding that they're all spirit soul. It's just that they've forgotten Krishna. And your approach is very good because that's the same approach that I have. Going like a needle and come out like a plow. And Krishna also said in Bhagavad Gita, one should not discourage someone who may be ignorant, but instead encourage them in the spirit of devotion. So whatever people following him that attached to certain path, Prabhupada also said that we just encourage them. You are Christian? Very nice. Become a better Christian. If you are Muslim, become a better Muslim. Or Hindu, become better Hindu. Just add Krishna consciousness to your life. And let Krishna do the work. Once I take Krishna in, it's just like when you take a poison, the poison spread. Or when you take a medicine, the medicine will work. All we have to do is just tell people to take the medicine. The medicine that cures material disease. And it will work. We don't know how it works, but it will work. You interact with the body, the immune system, and all the very complicated stuff. But it works. So yes, all we do is just try to encourage. We cannot force anyone to become Krishna conscious, make anyone a devotee, but we can encourage them, inspire them to, in the spirit of devotion, to take up the process of Krishna consciousness. And then we can continue to encourage them and help them to grow, guide them to grow.
In this Bhagavad Gita, it is told that one should be detached from family.
Detached from?
Family, wife, children, and so on.
Yes, Prabhupada make a distinction. When you talk about family, sometimes you even talk about women. He said it does not apply to devotees' family or devotee women or men. You're talking about the materialists. Because devotees, whether men or women, they are transcendental, spiritual. Because they are chanting Hare Krishna and they are practicing Krishna consciousness. So it doesn't fall into those categories. A family, in fact, a Grihastha man who is following the principles, chanting Hare Krishna, surrender to Krishna, is as good as a sannyasi. In fact, it's harder to be a good Grihastha than to be a sannyasi. Because as a grihastha, you have so many facility, so many facility to fall into Maya, to fall into sense gratification. But the sannyasi, you know, they already accepted the path that they follow. But grihastha are exposed to all this. All forms of sense gratification, they are available to them. So it's harder. Therefore, Prabhupada also said, the grihastha, they are as good as sannyasi. And like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, some sages say you don't need to take sannyas because he's already living like sannyas. Even though he has 13 children, so many children. And one of them, brilliant, Sri Bhaktisiddhanta. In the Kali Yuga, sannyas is actually discouraged. In fact, forbidden. But what is recommended is Kshetra sannyas. Kshetra sannyas means when the husband and wife reach a certain age, they can visit some place of pilgrimage, and they take a while to stay in one place to perform devotional service. But in ISKCON, the grihasthas, some grihasthas are doing that. Some grihasthas, we also carry on the curse passed down from Narada Muni down to Prabhupada and to the present Acharya to others, that we cannot stay in one place too long. They have to travel and preach, travel and preach. So many grihasthas are also doing that. They're almost living like grihasthas. Sannyasi, they travel and preach like the sannyasi. So yes, Prabhu.
My question is...
Use this mic.
My question is, how do you work and think of Krishna at the same time? Because as you said, in management certain times it requires a lot of thinking.
Let me revert the question to you. When Krishna told Arjuna to pick up his bow and fight and shoot, they said, fight and think of me. So how is Arjuna going to, he's going to pick up the bow, think of Krishna, point at Krishna? No, the thinking of Krishna means in your heart, you know I'm doing this for Krishna. I'm working for Krishna. How are you working for Krishna? Because you're taking the results of your work to take care of family, maintain a Krishna conscious household. And you want to give like a portion of your income to contribute to the Sankirtan movement and help the devotees who are living in temple. They are performing so many services, preaching activities which you may not be able to do, but then you're supporting them with some of the results of your work. For a lot of people, giving up their hard-earned money is a big sacrifice. You know? So, and the bigger the sacrifice, the more is the surrender. Simple as that. We can give something that not so dear to us, to Krishna. Krishna I appreciate. But you give up something that's very dear to you and give to Krishna, Krishna will appreciate more. Krishna reciprocate. As yeta tam how do you say that? As you surrender unto me, I reward you accordingly. Therefore, the Christian, they have a principle to give 10% of the income. Maybe not everyone is doing that, but they have this principle, 10%. And the Muslim, they have this zakah, they contribute. Especially during the month of Eid, the fasting month, they give in charity. So in this way, we contribute some effort. The most important is you use the hard-earned money, take care of the family, and guide them and become Krishna, like Krishna conscious family. You buy food, you maintain a house, you have a deity at home, you're worshipping a deity. So you're using the money in a Krishna conscious way. So that in this way you think of Krishna. You know you're doing it for Krishna. You're not doing it for sense gratification. You're not working so that you can earn a lot of money and have this kind of enjoyment or all kinds of sinful activities. Hmm? Does that answer your question? Not quite. It's the underlying consciousness in which you perform your work. Thinking of Krishna means not that when you are doing what do you do? Huh?
I'm a doctor.
You're a doctor. So do you do operations sometime?
No, I'm into chronic cases.
Okay, chronic. So when you're diagnosing a patient, you thinking of Krishna, you misread the diagnosis. Isn't it? You have to concentrate on it. This is your work. But the underlying consciousness is that you're doing everything for Krishna's service, for Krishna. So that's what it means, thinking of Krishna. Work and think of Krishna. That you're connecting. That your work is connected to Krishna. Yes. Right? Because other needs to hear your question.
You mentioned about habit.
Closer.
Habit becoming.
Closer.
Habit becoming a second nature. So how to get rid of old unwanted habits?
Getting what? You see, whatever you focus on grows. Whatever you think of, whatever you focus on, it grows. So if you avoid those habits and you place it with good habits, then gradually these bad habits will fade away and burn away. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Param Drisvani Vadate. Even though the senses may still be attracted to sense object, but if we engage in those devotional service, we develop higher taste, and by developing higher taste, we naturally give up the lower taste. So bad habit is second nature. Yes, it's very hard to get rid. Therefore, you have to replace it. You cannot just negate it. Then it's like the Mayavadi, neti, not this, and you're constantly thinking of it. How you can get rid of something by always thinking of it? So instead of doing that, you replace. It's like some people maybe have bad habit of eating meat. That was one of my big challenge when I joined the temple. Like, no eating meat, what am I going to eat? And I tried. Me and my friend were traveling, and we went to a Burger King, and he bought me a burger. I said, no, I'm not going to eat this. And he was upset. He said, I bought this for you. I said, no, I'm not eating it. But I didn't know what to eat. So by the afternoon time, we ended up in a hippie house, someone I met in New Delhi. He was a Dane and a hippie. He lived in this attic, like bare attic, like from the Stone Age. Only all this marijuana plant drying on the ceiling. And I was so hungry. And I told him, what do you have? He said, some bread, some eggs. Okay, omelette and bread and egg. So I have no alternative. But gradually, now when you don't think of meat, or smell meat, I get nausea. You know? Because I replace it with something better, those habits. So many habits like that, you just replace it. You cannot just reject, but you have to replace with something more positive. Like a child. A child is attached to playing something, it may be dangerous, you cannot just take it away. You scream and cry and hold on to it. But you entice and say, you want this? You want this? Oh, ice cream? You want ice cream? Okay. Give this to me. Okay, you take ice cream, you take it away. You replace with something better. Yeah? Any other question? Mataji's? Mike? What happened to the fan? Oh, there's no fan here. It's all over there. There was a fan here just now. What happened to it? Yes, Mataji.
So it takes a lot of effort to rise to that platform. So how can I practice at my level so that I can think that it's Krishna's mercy? It's very
We,
difficult.
we all have to start somewhere. Long time ago, I was also sitting like that, a brand new bhakta, didn't know anything about Krishna, didn't know anything about Krishna consciousness, didn't know anything about Indian culture. I started from somewhere, from you, or at least you already have this background. Now you've heard about Krishna from young, so and you already have some form of faith. I started with zero. So gradually you build up. And when you get challenged and you overcome that challenge, that faith becomes stronger. Because when you take up this challenge, then you get to see and realize how Krishna's hand at work, how he's actually helping you and guiding you. And then your faith becomes stronger. So those challenges are, that's why as a sincere devotee, we embrace challenges. Because those challenges force us to depend on Krishna more. I was discussing with my friend Marichi the other day. We share the same approach in our devotional life. That whenever Guru asks us to do something, we say yes. You don't think. We don't say, let me think about it. What happens when you say, let me think about it? The mind goes, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. And we start thinking of all kinds of obstacles why you cannot do it. It's difficult, there's so many things. I say, if Guru said, you do this, I want you to do this. Say, yes, Guru Maharaj, I'll do it. And then when you walk, I say, what have I done? I make a promise, I already say yes, but how am I going to do it? So, your path is about moving forward, not taking backward. You move, okay, now I have to figure out how to do it. You start taking action, which create momentum, and then you see the energy of the Guru flows through. Because the Guru will not ask you to do something you cannot do. He's not stupid. To be a Guru, to be a teacher, he knows our strengths and weaknesses. He knows what we're capable of doing. But he's always challenging us, always challenging to help us to go next step, next step, next step. So we follow along that path. And by doing it, we realize, wow, you get to experience the mercy of Guru. We get to experience the energy of Krishna working through us, and that's how faith grows. Adaustrata tata sadhu sangha bhajana kriya. It begins with blind faith. I'm not sure, but anyway, it sounds good. I'll just follow. And then we associate with devotees. We accept a spiritual master who teaches us the path of Krishna consciousness. We follow that. We take initiation. And bhajana kriya, gradually all the anatas in the heart become washed away. And we develop some attachment. We develop ruchi, some taste. And taste become nishna. Ruchi become nishna. Nishna, firm faith. Right? Now that's the difference between nishna and shraddha. Shraddha is initial faith. We're not sure. But nishna means you know. And what is that? It's a realization. That realization is based on knowledge and experience. We have the knowledge, it is like this, and I have the experience that it is like this. That's why the faith becomes so strong. In the beginning, I just heard, I've not experienced it. But you have to go through the process to experience it, to develop nishna. Then the attachment to Krishna develop, which turn into bhava becomes prema. There's a process right there. Any other? You have a question? No. I can see some of the Mahajis in the mind, they have a churning out question, but they dare not ask. Come on. Out with it. No. No, she was just scratching her head. Anyone else? Or are you just been very kind to let me off with an early night? Don't worry about me. I can stay up as long as you are here.
The lecture you said that like ISKCON was first ashram based, then congregation based. What is it?
In the beginning, we were just anyone who take up Krishna consciousness join the ashram. Especially in the Western country, it was very, very difficult to practice Krishna consciousness outside. We even have a term if someone leaves the ashram, we call them, they're blue. They're blue. They left ashram, and normally they just faded away. We didn't have, and it's only when His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, he developed this Namahata program, Bhakti Research program, that we were able to hold on to all these congregation devotees, and that's where the congregation preaching started and developed. And now, less and less people are joining the ashram. In some places, we used to have 100 ashram devotees living in the temple, packed. And now they barely have 5 or 10. In some places, there are more deities than ashram devotees. There are 3 sets of deities, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Gauranga, Radha, Krishna, that's already 7. Right? But there may be 4 or 5 ashram devotees. More deities than ashram. So like that. So then gradually just congregation, and that's how Prabhupada sees it also. That he said that it's not that everyone has to, Prabhupada didn't envision that everyone will be like full surrender devotee. So there will be all kinds of devotees out there taking up Krishna consciousness at different levels. Some will take initiation, become more serious, they take initiation. And even those who take initiation, there are some who are more serious than others. And those who are more serious, they prepare for Brahmi initiation so they can do deity worship. Others, they're happy with just first initiation. And then the others, they may be chanting a few rounds a day. At least they're vegetarian, they may or may not offer the food. And some are semi-vegetarian, but they have faith in, they believe in Krishna. They believe that Krishna is the Supreme. So all levels are there, and we encourage them, everyone. Krishna is very liberal. In the 12th chapter, he said, just surrender unto me. If you cannot do that, follow the regulative principle of devotional service. If you cannot do that, you work for me. If you cannot do that, just develop transcendental knowledge. And just went down to the lowest denomination. As long as we are connected, somehow, then we're okay. Some, they come maybe once a year on Janmashtami, or give a donation, and then they disappear for the rest of the year. So all shapes, and we accept everyone. But of course, we encourage everyone to be serious. And then we pick up those who we see the potential become serious, then we put more energy and help them and guide them. Those who are not so ready, okay, just let them be, just encourage them to do what they can. Because we have to also make our endeavor ourselves. It's not always depending on someone to push us. Because many people, you get pushed, their false ego pop out. What are you doing? Leave me alone. Any other question?
Prabhuji, when you perform certain duties, we expect results out of it. Like if you are preparing for certain exam, then before preparing for that, we start thinking that I should get this much mark, this much mark. But Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, he says that we should not expect results, the duties which you perform.
Yep.
So how can we understand this?
Well, in the conditioned state, it's natural that we expect result. But we just gradually cultivate ourselves to become detached from the result, thinking that Krishna will give the result. And it's, the method is that we act as if the result depends on us. But at the same time, understanding that it's not depending on us. The result depends on Krishna. So it's like holding an opposing thought, right? It's depending on us, but at the same time not depending on us. It's not easy to gel that, to calibrate that. So it takes time to really learn how to actually put into practice, to always act, but not it. You're always endeavoring for the result. Just like when we go and book this vision, we're endeavoring for the result. But the result come or not, it's Krishna. Krishna gave the result. And even that, it took us a couple, at least 2-3 years to learn. Some never learn. But at least you keep the thought, and you will develop it faster, because you remember Krishna's instruction. Any others? No? Okay. Then we end here. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we'll see you tomorrow 11:30, Sunday feast. I'll be here again. Hare Krishna.